Everything's going as it's planned.
There we go. Welcome, people, to another episode of Cerulean Springs TTRPG of the Menagerie, our actual play stream for our new cyber fantasy system. I am Jari, as usual. I'm your overseer, which is a fancy word for narrator or DM. And please tell us if you can hear us, because I made a new scene. As you can see, there's a whole new overlay and everything, and I might have forgot to put in the audio sources because I'm dumb like that.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Yeah, the audio works.
Yay, the audio works. Last minute fixes for a win. Let's go by our character. Let's introduce our lovely players. Let's start from the left.
Hello, I am Chera. I am playing Magpie, who is the resident drone master and human disaster.
Hello, I'm Dawn. I will be playing Nan0, the wardroid nanny and apparent mother of the group, and hacker when trouble comes around.
Hello, I'm Linkus. I am playing MWS-7332, which is the wizard Dr. Skell trapped in a robotic body.
Hi, I'm Leonard, and I play John Doe, the resident fishman mercenary. Who's the Maury Eel fishman mercenary.
So you're telling us that he's serving fish tonight.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then I'm confident Panda, our centaur corpus mage user, will join us at a dramatically appropriate time.
Yeah, he should. She should. Anyways. As you can see, we have a new overlay, and along with that, we have some new incentives for you. For 100 bits, you can add a +1 to the pool, which the characters can use as a party for different roles. 300 bits will get an advantage or disadvantage to the character, which, if you choose that option, please do tell us in the chat. And... oh, thanks for a follow, Morgan. For 400 bits, you're gonna give a momentum or threat. We're gonna explain the mechanic when we encounter it. But as you can see, we have a tracker, and it's a mechanic of a game as well. It's not just for the stream. And for when we hit a hype train, something chaotic will occur.
Obviously, the bits translate to tips left to our tip jar as well. Every 100 bits is worth $1, so we get +1 to the pool if you donate $1. Yatta, yatta, yatta.
Yeah. We're getting used to this whole thing. Don't worry. We're gonna get better. Anyways.
So please help us defeat Jeriel's evil plans.
Yes, we need those advantages.
You will never manage to defeat my evil plans. Speaking of...
Fine. Do we need advantages, really?
Yes, you might need them.
Do you know, Jeriel?
I think we might be better off getting momentum.
Have you seen the rolls that they made so far?
No.
They've been interesting.
Okay.
There have been some triple, quadruple ones rolled. Maybe.
Oh god, that...
Let's say we've had a mental stat rolled, which is 3d6, and it was 3 ones.
Yeah.
We beat statistics on this channel.
We break new records. Anyways, last we left off, the party was in Ramah, where after collecting the package that we need to deliver back to Cerulean Springs, they were hit by an ether storm that stranded them in this small hunting town about some miles away from the main city. Here they met Hannah, and on their way there they met Muse, who started his new existence as a little ship in a bag. He's been given a new body.
I have evolved into a wonderful robotic lemur, and I am thrilled.
You can tell by the voice, obviously. And they waited for the night to pass, for Ether Storm to pass, and the car to be fixed after it got broken by the Ether Storm. Now they're facing a night to reflect on what they learned and figure out what to do. The morning seems to bring with it the promise of an easy paycheck, but at the same time, at what cost knowing what the rest of the chips are inside the bag. We pick back up with the party sleeping at Freya's Golemancy, the shop that Magpie managed to get the key for and use.
It is now mine.
It's on lease on very specific conditions, as Hannah will remind you, most probably.
Teriel,
Yes.
I was fully charged before I left.
Uh-huh.
I don't really need sleep.
You don't. True.
I would like to spend my night trying to establish contact with the different chips and see if any of them respond like our new lemur does.
Okay. Now, keep in mind that, yes, you were at full battery, but you haven't docked. So that will mean that spending the night doing activities will still gonna drain battery. So you're still gonna take a point of fatigue.
Oh god, what are the batteries like on a robot toy lemur?
Pretty much, like, for convenience sake, it's gonna be pretty much the same. That gives you about...
Smaller battery, but smaller body.
Yeah, about a day of functioning at full extent before needing to dock or starting to go down to energy saving mode, which
Just
translates in fatigue, because I mean I made the rules for everything.
yeah, but then again, you can just always plug a phone charger up his ass.
That's always an option. True.
You're making it very hard for me to like the party right now.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
Oh.
Children, behave!
And thanks for Brian Matkovich as well. Anyways, you try to establish contact with the chips that are inside this bag. Unfortunately, none of them seems to respond the way Muse did. You don't know if it's because of a malfunction in Muse circuitry. You don't know if it's because they weren't hit by the Ether Storm in the same way, but there's silence.
Okay.
All of the other ones are ether
Even-
infused as well, right?
If you look at the other ones inside the clear plastic casing that holds them closed and sealed, yes, they are all
Okay.
they're all with the same markings of alchemical essence inside them.
Teriel, correct me if I'm wrong, but even dormant technology gives off a certain type of wavelength. Right?
Yes, it does.
I want to register and save this type of wavelength this type of chip transmits
Okay. I will say that you can...
for future reference.
Give me a hacking roll, please.
It would be my pleasure. I'm still on the map. Lovely. That is a standard roll. with intelligence. No bonuses?
No. Just, actually, I will say go at a -2 because we
Because I
are...
managed to make a contact with Moose.
Well, Muse was actively trying to get contact. These
True.
ones are dormant, so go at a -2 because this is all very new technology. This is nothing
I'm
we've seen
rolling
before.
at a -2?
Yes. Well, you're rolling
Oh
at...
no, that drops me to a 5.
I know, right? That's a travesty. Yes, I will say with a roll you can, at the very least, save sort of signal that they give off.
Because I imagine it's unique to them.
It is. It really is.
And it's just that information I want to save in case we have future reference.
Alright.
And then, because I didn't manage to make contact with anybody, I'm just gonna power down for the last 2 or 3 hours of the night.
Okay. Give me, since you're taking a short rest for the whole night, give me an evasion constitution roll, please.
Evasion constitution.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 constitution.
Because I was only turned on with nightfall, I'm just gonna go into low, like just stay still. I don't even know how to go low energy mode. I'm just gonna try and stay still.
Just power down.
I don't know how to do that. I'm a
We'll need
wizard.
to teach the new one everything. 13. 12, sorry.
12, yes, you can stave off fatigue with a short rest.
I can what?
You can avoid fatigue with a short rest.
Thank you.
Well, what is the rest of the night like for the others?
Magpie is in the shop, still rummaging through, like tinkering with some stuff, looking for whatever, like looking at everything being overloaded with all the shit that's going on, or that is in the shop.
I am making sure people get their rest.
Okay.
She will tie down Magpie in between connection searches if she has to. But everybody is getting their sleep.
Even if you have to knock me down or knock me out.
I will tie you up with cabling.
Okay.
Not gonna comment on that one. Anyways, John, do you want to do anything before you sleep?
Gotta find somewhere with water. Like not like a body water, but like maybe like a tub or a sink, and just like if it's the least, if all there is a sink, he's gonna find like a stool, fill up the sink, and just stick his head in. Sleep like that.
You can easily speak with Anna to find a place with a tub where you can sleep in. It's nothing too hard.
On a sink. Thank you.
Alright. You spend the night and you hear the ethereal, unnatural whispers of an ether storm as it rushes through the city. You can hear these really faint, almost voices, almost cries in some ways. You can't really tell if of joy, of pain. It's confusing. The dreams that you get tonight are weird, to say the least. But eventually morning comes. The storm seems to have cleared. Hannah is in the shop already. She is working on the kitchenette, checking the various corners. You can see the verse As you look inside the kitchen, you can see that there's something stabbed through the wall. And she waits for you to wake up.
I'm gonna remain power down until I sense enough activity around me to activate.
Alright.
Magpie is snoring loudly. Just like...
Dangling hogtied from the ceiling.
Yeah. Basically.
I'm staying stationary by looking at the window until I'm addressed.
Okay.
And
Yes,
John is
sounds like
just
a
blowing
wake up.
bubbles.
After a while, you can, Magpie.
Yep.
You can hear you can feel someone tapping on your shoulder.
I presume she's like upside down, like her hair is just like almost touching the ground, and she's like
Oh, you're on your bag, and there's several hinge points of roping.
Ah, okay. I thought I was actually hung from the ceiling, like hogtied.
Well, you're hanging from the ceiling with several lengths of roping going around several increments of your body, and you're slightly swaying, most likely.
Ah. Like, okay, she just wakes up like, with her limbs like flailing, like what the fuck is happening, like, and opening her eyes and just like, hello?
I mean, it ain't like I want to judge the way you spend your evening here, but at the same time, it's getting toward 9 a.m.
Oh, okay. Nano! Get me out here! Nano!
I'm gonna untie her.
I have to say, that does look awfully fun.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
It helps some of the more hyper ones sleep.
Does it now?
I've also been told it's quite a good tactic to keep certain animals away from your food.
Oh, for fun, I have to say I have my ways. And she points to what seems to be a big spider that's been just stabbed into the wall. Unfortunately, with all the new things, with the fact that we're a small town, we still need to deal with this sort of stuff. Do keep that in mind when you come back.
I'll bring enough rope.
I mean, I wouldn't use rope on a spider that size. Might want to use that for the fella that took over the garage down the road. That's a mighty big one. Luckily, it never really goes out.
Oh. Like, Magpie is just hiding behind Nano on the other side from the spider.
Anyway,
I
breakfast
won't
ready.
let it eat you.
Thank fuck.
And,
Hannah, would you require any assistance cooking?
oh no, I'm already done. By the way, you should probably send a message to your friend. I left him sleeping in the tub a couple houses over.
I'm gonna message John. Breakfast is ready.
Ping!
John's gonna send back. How do I get to the house again?
Oh,
I will ping the location.
Thank you.
Uh,
I said he was awake, but he couldn't remember how to get back to the house. So he was just walking.
then Hannah's gonna turn to you, Muse. Go. And how are you holding up?
Well, I've certainly been better.
Well, if your story's true, you've certainly been worse. Namely dead.
I give her a look.
Which is difficult.
With my cold, unblinking, robotic lemur eyes.
I mean, I have to say, it's quite a interesting thing that you went to the other side, now you're back. Isn't it?
Not entirely unheard of for my profession. It's unheard of to return from the other side in the body of a robot, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, after the whole dying thing, I know that some of your magic fella do the whole astral hooping here and there, but
I'm gonna knock on the table and then, as though I've just decided on something, say, I need to find my body. My real mortal body.
Well, that. I'm a hunter, but I deal with animals. I can't really help with that people.
I wish I could remember where I died.
Do you remember anything from before you died? Like, recent?
I remember contracts, and I remember I was working as the head ritualist for one of the corps. I can't remember which one.
I mean, these day and age, they all have. Oh shit! Sorry. They all have a knife in the pie of astral plane and magic. So.
Well, worst comes to worst, I'll just have to try and Google myself.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
People aren't in the habit of giving Lemur toys access to the Muse system, are they?
Oh, you do have a muse system. Like, you are your own muse system, basically.
The chip is a Muse system, Liam.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes, I am, aren't I? I'm the next wave of Muse.
Mm.
I just don't know if you have connection at the moment.
There probably wouldn't be the interface, the infrastructure for it.
It's workable.
If
It
you
depends
ask
on how it
nice
works
enough,
out.
you can use Nano as a waypoint.
I mean, considering that everything goes through the data stream of this day and age, like, it's not unusual to just have it out of fabric being immediately connected to the net as well. Because
The question is it new enough to be connected to the data stream already?
should be. The lemur itself, yes, absolutely. The whole.
Is this like the advanced toy that allows parents to spy on their kids when they're at work and stuff?
I mean,
It's
Not
a
the
nanny
parents. It doesn't let the parents spy on the kids.
But you get what I mean, right?
something
Is it
similar, yeah.
that kind of thing? Because that definitely would have an internet connection.
Considering that it would have been a synth body, it would need to operate autonomously.
Like,
As-
even if it does have an internet connection, it probably has a really old operating system, so it would need a bunch of updates just now.
Yeah,
to work
that
properly.
definitely could do with some updates.
Yes, I'm not sure I'm going to be wanting to connect to the internet and then get bombarded by 3,000 spam emails directly into my brain.
They are mighty annoying, that is true.
So I'm going to hold off on that. Unless anyone else here has an internet connection.
I am always connected.
Excellent. Could you please search for me any news on Dr. Julio Gergely? Dr. Julio Skell.
Are you having troubles with your vocal implements?
Yes, I seem to be mistaking myself for a fictional character.
Is it auto-correcting your vocals?
Yes. That is the excuse I choose to go with.
That is an early programming error.
Dr. Julio Skell, please.
I will Google the guy.
Give me that information, please.
Gather information. Well, it doesn't have to be charisma. I'm asking a computer. Oh,
Ew.
I rolled terrible.
Well, it might need some more time.
I find your Wikipedia page. Is that enough?
I'm not sure I have a Wikipedia page. I'm not that I wasn't like I'm not high profile.
I found your LinkedIn profile.
You can find a name here and there, but nothing really that would give a lot of information. Like,
Well, the good news is I can confirm that the name you gave me was definitely attached to a living person.
the name exists.
The bad news is
Oh,
the
God.
connection is so bad I can't do a deep search over here. The Eater Storm is still in the area somewhere.
Yeah, sometimes it tends to get some effects still lingering. Yeah, I don't have anyone waiting for me outside this small town, so never really gave much of a foe. Speaking of,
Miss Magpie,
Yes.
would you care to have a look at the car now that we have daylight and see if you can get it moving again?
Yes, definitely.
what was about to say?
Yeah. If the mechanic is already in, that is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They take the liberty to ask for them to, give a look. If so, you were in a mighty hurry, so just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Magpie is gonna. Can you please show me the way to the? Did we leave the car at the garage?
Yes, we did.
But I remember the way to the garage.
It's a very small town. Like, there's not many places you can go.
Okay, yeah.
We're talking, it's a town that before the cake rush housed about 500 people.
Okay.
It's all.
In the meantime, Miss Hannah, would there be anything we could do to repay your kindness?
Well, I mean, no, at the moment, but considering the sort of people you seem to be, I will say just give me your contact. I might have something you might do for repaying my hospitality later.
Very well. I will give her my contact.
That's kind of you. Now, please, Magpie, will you come with me?
Yes, of course. Lead the way.
She's gonna lead the way towards the garage, and you can see the rental car is being worked on by a guy in his 40s. He's human. He has this robotic arm as well, and you can see him kind of cursing and banging underneath the car a couple of times.
Jerry, for a split second there, I thought you were gonna say the car has been torn apart. As in, like, they're trying to salvage it for parts. I was like, no!
I'm not that evil. I'm just mildly evil.
Yeah.
Oh, a mild heart attack there.
As they approach, Magpie is just gonna go like, well, that doesn't sound promising.
Oh no, this fucking piece of shit is just a rental garbage. Why the hell do you even go down this road on something like this? I don't understand, but sure be good to go at least until Cerulean.
Oh, that would be great.
I mean, if it explodes on you, that's not on me. That's the fucking manufacturers.
I will take that risk. It's not our car anyway. We just got it for this assignment of ours.
Oh, they went cheapskate. I can see that.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
You can see the guy just kind of sliding out of from beneath the car and looking at you. He goes like, I will say he is about 1 foot taller than you. He goes, So you're the mechanic Anna was telling me about, aren't you?
I am. I just specialize in drones mostly.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not my thing. I like my engines big.
I can imagine. I can imagine. She's just looking up, like thinking, "Hey, fuck, you are taller than me as well." Hmm. I do not
mean,
like this.
can't really do much about it. I mean, I could. It's not like I'm gonna get fucking reduction of height only on your behalf.
Well, I didn't know you were a mind reader. Because I said Magpie was thinking that.
You think very loudly.
Yeah, it seems like.
You're not present.
Meh.
Anyway, I'm Ferdinand. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Magpie, it's a pleasure.
Did you say his name was Dirty Dan?
No, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Oh, Ferdy.
Yeah, I hear Dirty Dan as well.
I blame my audio setup.
So, Ferdinand, is there anything I can help out with?
Don't ask that of Dirty Dan.
It's not Dirty Dan, it's Ferdinand. Come on.
Not really. It was just the busted conduct. I kept it in charge the whole night. Had
I see.
we have some isolated batteries that we can use for occasions like this. I had to replace the tubing, but nothing more than that.
Even if I can do you a favor later, I could bring you some parts from Cerulean Springs.
That would be a really good idea. Hannah here tends to pass a fucking pickup every time she goes out.
Amazing.
Anna looks at it and goes, well, I don't know what you're talking about. If I have to chase prey, I have to chase prey. I can't really do it on foot, can I? Okay, so it looks at it and goes, well, of course. At the same time, you can try to avoid hitting every fucking rock on the road. You know?
You know what? Here are my details, my contact details. Next time that happens, just send me a text and I will try to get you sorted.
Will do. Anna looks at it and goes, oh, by the way, you might see a lot more of her around. She decided to take charge of Freya's shop. I goes, really now?
Well, it's an awful interesting shop for someone like me. Might as well use the opportunity. Yeah. If it arises.
Understandable. I mean, far from me to say that I'm not content about this. I've seen the place going more and more run down, people coming and going, trying to sneak in, but it's gonna be good to have someone tending to it. Freya was a very good part of his community. It's been a pity that she just up and disappeared.
As a favor for leasing that, I will look into Freya's disappearance as well. Given that I find something in the shop that leads to her.
Absolutely appreciate it. Anyways, car shall be fixed. Anna here told me to hold on any payments for the moment, but this is gonna be a one-time thing. I can't really work for free, Anna.
As I said, whenever you need something from Cerulean Springs, just ping me.
Alright, man. Have a safe trip. As safe as it can get in this damn thing can.
I guess. Take what we can get. And Magpie's gonna ping the others that seems like the car is ready and we can go.
Which, oh, by the way, it's about 10 a.m.
We should probably hurry the fuck up as well. She will add that.
Come on, let's get going. We have 2 hours before we need to be at our drop-off point. I would prefer to get there on time. I'm gonna usher everybody to the car.
Yeah, she is still on the like mute system. She's like, put the Lemur in the car in the boot, right? Since we didn't want him there for the drop off.
One of us is gonna get out with the lemur before we go to the facility.
Okay, sounds good as well.
Even
Sounds
though I
good.
could have thrown my coat over him.
Are you gonna put the coat around the lemur?
I don't want his chip to be anywhere near that facility in case they can scan for it.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but we also have just a random toy lemur. But on the way there, it might seem a little weird. So, visually, it's still a good idea. Never mind.
I honestly just want somebody to hop out with the lemur on a red light.
I can do that. I can certainly do that.
I'm glad I'm entertaining.
Well, yeah, you have your perks. I guess.
Would you prefer to go with us to the drop-off and risk being found out?
Fair point. Continue.
Let's get going, shall we?
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom,
Speedy
vroom indeed.
driving, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah. And for a hint, I will be back at some point.
I would expect so if you'll have a damn thing round town. I told you what's gonna happen.
Thank you so much for your hospitality. And she drives off.
Wait, what's going to happen if she sees us around town again?
What do you mean?
Was that a threat from her?
I have
I
no
feel
idea.
like that was contradictory information because we are on route to repay a favor and she does not want to see us again? That's contradictory information, is it not?
Like all this time, Magpie only understood half of what she was saying, so
Oh.
so it's about like, yeah.
Yes, I think she was trying to threaten us to keep us away.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she just wants me to keep up my end of the bargain of using the shop.
Hmm.
Could be that.
Nano,
Yes.
you receive a message from Hannah going, tell Magpie to remember the deal, or she knows, or she knows what's gonna happen.
Ah. Yes.
I relay that information.
I do not forget. Wouldn't worry about that.
P.S.
I will send that to Hannah as like if I can.
About that, P.S. Send her my contact as well.
I relay the connection.
What was the studio that game studio that had the Choose Your Own Adventure games?
Steve Jackson. The
Yeah.
No, the studio, it was the Telltale Games.
Yeah,
No,
Telltale games. You know, one of those. Yeah, little like Telltale game corner, like top right corner of the thing. Magpie.
Yes.
Oh, now I just feel old.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking of the same ones as you were, like the books.
Yeah. Well, those Choose Your Own Adventure ones. Oh, you mean like the Haunted Mansion and Thieves City?
Yeah.
Anyways, the road goes by quite quickly. Are you gonna push it, or are you gonna just, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be there, but I'm not gonna risk our lives on it, sort of thing.
I'm gonna make sure we are there, but not gonna risk our lives.
Okay. So you're gonna basically at the speed limit.
Yeah,
making
I'm
sure
not gonna. I'm
There's
not
a
gonna be
speed
going.
limit in a forest.
What?
There's a speed limit in a forest.
Well, it's still a road, so there is a speed limit.
I'm not gonna go stupidly fast, especially that Ferdinand says that this shit can fall apart any minute.
As you're driving, give me either an analysis or an engineering mechanics roll.
Okay, let me see. Hello?
Hello.
I have to. Intelligence, that's what you said that it was, right?
Yep.
For engineering and mechanics, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, well.
That's a momentum for us, right?
Give me a second, gonna check it. Yes,
Yes.
it is. So give me a second, gonna update this as well.
We have 6 momentum and 7 threats.
Oh, then I completely screwed up the tracker. Now we're
That's
at
fine.
7 momentum and 7 threat.
That's fine as well.
We'll take it.
Yeah?
As you drive, the car is actually going fine. Like, probably that's just the way Ferdinand is. Just shouting at tech to fix it.
I mean, I guess it can be frustrating sometimes.
But yeah, you make your way back. You can see a couple trees on the way back have been knocked over by whatever you saw last night. And in about an hour or so, you get back to civilization. You take the overpass over Old Town. Again,
fuck.
you see the almost same buildings that's being made quickly to house all the people that came in after the gate crash. And in the same state of utter chaos on the streets. There's,
Somewhere down there, your new friends live.
Is that a threat?
No, that's a reminder.
Ah. What an
Because I
nice
believe
friend.
you've set an appointment with them.
Oh, yeah, those friends. Yes.
oh, by the way, that's not where
That's-
they live.
But that's where they meet.
In a way, yes. You'll see.
Oh god.
And
Still one day until then.
you can see the ring of abandoned buildings that makes that acts as a confine between the normal side of the city on Old Town, and then it's neon and AR and advertising and tall buildings.
And everything looks slightly like pixel arty.
Total visual aids.
I would like to spend our car ride up until this point helping the lemur get adjusted to robotical functions.
Okay.
Good bloody luck.
I mean, you can pass the time in the back seats by explaining how to operate certain things, by giving them a rundown on how to read the various information on a synth body operativity, and all that.
There you go. You get an hour-long lecture about your new body.
Linkies, you can knock down the adjustment period that varies when you change bodies.
Okay. Alright.
So now you're not quite there, but you can at least operate it properly.
I'm not painfully aware that I'm not actually lifting my arm, I'm just rotating a motor.
Exactly.
Okay, I can do that.
Alright. Anyways, you get back into the city proper, and you start getting seeing the people of the city again. Are you going directly to the Verdstadt facilities, or are you taking a detour?
We are going directly in case the GPS is checked, but we will run into red lights somewhere along the way
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and allow John and Lemur to exit.
Okay. John and Lemur, are you going to get out of the car?
Yes.
Alright. Now, John and Lemur and Nan and Magpie,
Yes.
please roll me a d6 so we can see who we're gonna follow next.
Magpie, you can roll.
Okay. Four for us.
And I
Four.
think Linux has to roll. Oh. What did you roll, Asher?
I rolled a 4.
We rolled first.
It's the same.
Okay.
I'll say if it's okay with Liam, I think let's follow Magpie and Nano first.
Alright. You drop off Muse and NaughtyMouse at an intersection. You watch as they disappear in the crowd, and you get back on the road and advance towards the Verdstadt facilities. They are in an area of town that is used for manufacturing buildings. So you can see a number of various companies that set up shop there. You arrive in front of the gate, and as before, there's a couple of people keeping guard, and you. I need you both to give me an analysis check. As you see the guards coming towards you with their gear.
Okay. Analysis. Okay. Nat 15.
Oh, fancy.
19.
You can see that despite, like, from what you know, Verdstadt is not a big company. Like, it's one of those single A, double A companies. It's really nothing special. Then again, you know what tech they're dealing with, and along with that, as the guards arrive, you can notice that their gear is almost completely Hatsume made.
Oh.
One of them approaches and goes, hello, can we help you?
Good morning, gentlemen. We are here to deliver a package.
Give me just a second.
Of course.
He checks a couple things on his mute system. You can see his fingers moving and goes, As I can see here, there's a question I need to ask you. What is your favorite flower?
Rhododendron.
Checks out. Yeah, that checks out. Have you encountered any problems on the road? From what I can see from the
Sadly,
listing.
we have run into an ether storm which caused some delays, but I assume we're still on time.
It looks like a clock. Barely, but yeah, I mean, looking at the
Our
listing, it should be fine.
our car sadly broke down during the ether storm. We had to get it fixed.
I mean, at least that's gonna, considering you got it fixed, that's not gonna be run down on insurance costs with the rental company. But hey, I don't really care. I just work security here. So, where's the package?
It's right here. Who are we supposed to hand it to?
Yes, please.
Do we get any documents that you signed off on it to confirm delivery, please?
You are with A.R.C. I can see that you're the one that's taking the contract. You're just gonna get confirmation for the job done once the verification has been made inside the facility.
Very well. I hope none of it get affected by the ether storm.
What will be affected by the ether storm?
Oh, whatever's in the package.
The package.
Obviously.
I mean, I know I glitched, Magpie got sick, so whatever it is might have an effect, we don't know. But we just hope it all worked out and you can continue your business. By lack of better wording.
I'm sure I will. And it takes a bag, and you can see that after going with that, it's checking it very thoroughly.
I wait patiently.
It turns
Is
around.
everything in order?
Turns around, opens, making sure that you can see it, closes it back, goes. Everything seems to be in order. Anyways,
Great, that is reassuring.
we're gonna have confirmation once it goes through. It goes through analysis of facility staff.
Yes, of course.
Anyway, you're done here. You will receive confirmation on via A.R.C. when everything is done. If there's anything wrong, don't worry. We're gonna make sure to make you know.
Oh, where should we leave the rental?
In the same parking lot you found it. It
Yeah,
should
thank
be.
you.
It should have it as the next destination.
Very well.
Thank you for your service.
Have a nice day.
You too. And with that, he disappears inside the facility as the other guy looks at you and basically waits for you to go away.
Yep. Magpie is gonna turn the car around and just like drive off. Once they are out of earshot, Magpie's just gonna go like, "What the fuck was that? You almost gave it away. That we know what the hell is in that package."
We went through an ether storm and each and every individual member of our party experienced some effect because of it. It's worth mentioning in case some of the goods, whatever we were transporting, got damaged.
I know, but it was hella suspicious that you talked about the package in plural.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I don't even remember that? Okay.
Well, hopefully we managed to save it, but wow. Also, did you see that?
See what?
They are most probably affiliated with Hatsune.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, it's not uncommon for smaller businesses to associate themselves with larger
I guess that's true.
ones for benefits.
Hatsune
I-
is a company with benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hatsune really is a company with benefits.
A lot of benefits.
Well, it was a pleasure droid.
Just
Oh.
very quickly out of character, if I did indeed talk about an Imperial, that was completely player error and very unintentional, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll say it was lost in translation.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was. No, I will make deliberate mistakes with Nano. That was not one of them.
No, don't worry. I mean, it was suspicious even if it was singular. Like, it was still suspicious.
Yeah, totally.
These mistakes just make it more spicy.
Yes.
Hey, NaughtyMouse.
Yes.
What's your name?
What do you mean?
What's your NaughtyMouse, and I'm Moose. There are going to be lots of confusions because of accents and languages.
Are you asking for my character's name? Because it's John Doe, if that's what you're wondering.
So what's the NaughtyMouse thing?
It's a handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, all the various names that you have are the handles with which they are registered into the ARC. You have.
Let me ask you this
Oh,
question.
this has gone far more complicated now.
Let me ask you this question. When you go to any official service, do you sign the pages with Linkus? In real life?
Okay, good point.
Anyways, speaking of, before we figure out if something happened, which, by the way, let me just roll a couple things here. Okay.
I don't like it when you roll things without telling us.
Plenty of dice.
NaughtyMouse and Muse.
Yes.
You've been dropped off basically at the center of town. What are you up to?
I'm really tempted to say looking for an internet cafe.
Looking for an internet cafe.
They
Yeah.
actually do exist.
They do,
Yeah.
but
Last session, John went to one.
remember something, Muse.
Hmm.
You have a little problem at the moment.
Oh God! Don't tell me I'm not just a robot. I'm impotent too.
Well, no, that wasn't it, but the thing is, you don't have an identity.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Well, good thing I'm a toy then.
Well, you can still do things. Just remember when you're asking to get into services that require an identity, like it will be an internet cafe, you might be at a bit of a disadvantage at the moment.
So I guess the best thing for me to do would be to act as like John's toy, like power item.
Well, John synth.
Yeah. I am John's like present or something. I don't know.
Muse.
How are we gonna get over this?
Uh, Give me just a second. I'm gonna write you something for you, Leon.
Okay.
Not you.
The other one.
Yes, the other one. Your link is. He's Leon.
Okay. Yay.
We are so professional.
All we need now is a player named John.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to think. I already owe the guy one favor. Do I want to owe him another one? Plus, he's a surgeon.
I mean, that is true.
You mean he can cure my robotic impotence?
I won't promise that much.
You need a biomechanic for that. Magpie will do it.
Like me.
John's gonna give a deep sigh and go. Hey, no, son. I gave you a knife.
Kinda broke up there.
Sorry. John's gonna give a deep sigh and to Moose, he's gonna go. May no son give you.
Now, do the conveniences of having a body really outweigh the dangers of... What's the... Let me rephrase this. Would the benefits of having an identity really outweigh the costs of getting it compared to the risks of not having an identity?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter for you. More than likely, I'll be the one paying for it.
Why would you do that?
That is a good question.
Because he helped me get a new identity. I know what situation I need to help. I kind of. You're
You know-
really gonna look a gift in the mouse, in the mouth.
In the mouth.
It's a very big mouth considering he's Neo.
Listen, mouse. You can look the gift mouse in the mouse.
Are you really gonna? I'm offering to pay for you to get an identity. Are you really gonna look this gift horse in the mouth?
Probably not. I just wasn't expecting you to go to such lengths for. Let's be honest. What may as well be a jumped-up concierge.
Listen, more than likely, we're going to be close to each other. Not in the emotional sense, but in a physical sense. I have a feeling we might be working together for a long time after this. I want to get this over with.
All right. Lead on then, John Doe.
Alright.
And he's going to go into that. I feel like the person who did this for John would be around that border between Old Town and New Town.
Yes, most probably.
Just with the nature of his operations.
Yeah, the person you're looking for is probably going to be in one of those areas where not a lot of MCMP goes that far into. Not exactly Old Town, not exactly New Town.
It's that gray zone.
Yeah. You move there quite confidently. You know the place. You know the area. You know that sort of ambience.
I feel like it's a walking there, knowing where he's going, but dragging his feet because he doesn't really want to be going there.
Yeah. But for you, Muse, you can see that as the...
You can just call me Dr. Skell. I have introduced myself as Dr. Skell before.
Alright.
Problem.
As you go towards this area of town, you can see that the presence of official police cars is non-existent. You can see the ring of abandoned buildings, and you know you've seen them already. Like, they're not a new sight for you. But... Yeah?
I've been here before.
Well, not exactly. You've seen the ring from afar. Like, it's a very known landmark. The ring. But you've, up to you if you were in this sort of areas before, considering your previous job. But you can see that there's a lot more civilians running, moving around, and you can see that a number of them are carrying. You are in an area that, then, considering the vicinity to Old Town and the violence that is Old Town, basically defends itself. So you see a number of neighborhood watches, for lack of a better word, just making sure everything is smooth.
Local vigilantes.
Yep.
Do they wear capes and like their underpants outside?
Not all of
they're-
them.
they are happy little quiet bat people.
You approach one of the houses, and NaughtyMouse wanna give introductions.
So what am I seeing exactly?
I mean,
How much rain are you giving me here?
I'm giving you rain on the sort of person that you have dealt with. It's your contact. You can customize it, but I'm gonna play it.
Basically, they're super cheap and amazing, and they do brilliant work.
No, I'm just talking general appearance and demeanor. I'm not talking prices.
Nice
I
try.
figured it was like a personal thing. John's gonna knock on the door and go, Alice, I'm here to see the Mad Hatter. In a very like, I don't want to be her kind of tone.
Okay. You hear?
'Cause I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like the guy would be known as the Mad Hatter because he has. I feel like he'd probably have a tendency to kind of seem a bit off and is able to give people different hats to wear as identity. That was my idea
Ooh,
for the.
I like it.
Title as.
I get to be a hat-wearing lemur. It's not going to get boring, by the way. We will not stop finding the fact that I'm stuck as a lemur an entertaining situation.
I mean, you are stuck at least for the time being, yes. But yeah, the system. You can hear the electronic system going, "Oh, hello there, John. The Hatter is gonna wait for you inside," and the door opens.
Thank you, Alice. And then John's gonna walk into the door and usher in Dr.
Skell.
Skell. Okay. Couldn't remember if it's Dr. Skell or Skull. It's
Skell.
Skell.
The house.
Written everywhere except where Jerry wrote it.
The house is freakishly clean. Like, we're talking, even in this day and age, it's way too much. Like, everything is just in perfect order. Everything is maniacally set up to be exactly where it is. Even if you try to spot it, there's not a speck of dust anywhere. And you can see this tall...
Damn asthma.
What?
No, never mind. No.
You can see this tall, lanky man just looking at you and going, "Oh, my hello there. This is a really good surprise, John. It's been so long. How is your hat fitting you? Is it going good? I know I did a good job, but I want you to tell me, how perfect is it?"
I'm just going to slowly turn and look at John.
John's gonna go. Well, I mean, Nobody's able to tell who I used to be.
Oh, that's
Identify
good.
me yet.
Please, what was the
Perhaps
last
it's
time you
fun.
were checked up? Did they ask you something about your past? Did they do a good job about that? I know amnesia is a bit of a common thing, but at the same time, with John Doe, I took the liberty, you know. He's staring straight at you, like,
um, last time I got checked up, I think it was New Year's. But even it wasn't. It's just what's my situation going?
oh, the New Year's Eve. Oh, my identity would tell that? Such a public scandal. Oh, this is just making me tingle. So, what brings you here? Can I offer you something?
I'm still just staring John at John.
I need another favor. My friend here, the hat of his own.
He turns around. This really way too thin face, like looking at you with his wide eyes and go, oh. Also, you're a friend. I thought you were just, something he brought. A pet or something. Oh, this makes it all so interesting.
If it makes it any easier on you, he did have an identity before, but he's kind of dead now. Like that.
Well, I mean, everyone that comes here is dead now. You're dead. Everyone is dead.
That's fair.
John,
That's
I
fair.
blame you.
That's fair.
I mean, I might have recycled a couple of times, you know. You never waste anything.
Did you ever recycle mine?
No, I didn't. Don't worry. I'm waiting for a perfect fit, of course.
Yeah, you might not want to recycle mine. It's
I mean, you discarded it. I picked it up.
yeah, but it's got some things attached to it that
Oh, I
another
know.
person might.
I know. Don't worry. But not everyone who comes here does it for themselves, do they?
John, I'm getting really uncomfortable right now.
You can still back out and try a different way.
Now, you speak.
I'm beginning to look your gift horse in the mouth, John.
You speak. Please, please, please. Don't need to be worried. I mean, you enter here as a person, you come out as a different one. Isn't it the perfect thing? Just leaving everything behind.
Actually, that's the thing. He's not entering here as a person. He doesn't have an identity at all. We're asking to get.
A blank slate? Oh, this is an occasion. Oh, I can work with that. Follow me.
John, I need you to give me assurances that there is no way that this is going to... I just need your assurance that this isn't going to end badly.
Well, I mean, it's not. He's worked on me, and I've come out of here alive.
Oh, I believe we'll get out of here alive. I just don't know that we're going to want to stay. I don't know what he's going to do with any part of me right now.
Well, because you
You know-
don't have any. Not like he's just gonna upload.
Just keep calling me Moose. I don't want him to be connected to my former identity at all.
You don't have a former. You're a blank slate. have the only part of your identity that you have.
As you do this, it keeps walking. Apparently not hearing you, until it opens the door with an array of computers and a stretcher close to it. It turns around. As John said, yes, you don't have an identity, so please don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine. Just come in. By the way, it's very rude to talk about someone like they are not here. I know that.
Yeah. All right. Chill down, Igor. I'm not talking about you like I'm not here. I'm talking about your methods while you are here.
I mean, who's Igor? Did they work for him? I don't know. It's been so long. I might have.
Just gesticulate towards the Mad Hatter repeatedly.
Yeah, I know. It's just gonna get over with. You're not the one paying for it.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, I might ask you a favor every once in a while, considering that you know a whole new identity. But oh dear, this is so exciting! A whole blank slate, all for me, little old me. Sit on the stretcher, please.
Do you need help up? Can you get there up there yourself?
Don't let me leave your sight. And I get up onto I make an awkward attempt at climbing up the stretcher, moving one joint at a time.
Underneath the arm instead of down.
Well, there goes my dignity.
I mean,
And I still had that.
you can leave it behind as well with the rest of you. And with that, you can see him starting to, with his long, spindly fingers, starting to move them. Almost as he's playing an instrument, but you can see that he's using his music. Alice, play me something classic, please. I need inspiration.
He's not going to do anything to my head, is he? You're hesitating.
He needs to implement a new data.
Yeah, but he's not gonna fuck with anything of any memory.
Before we proceed, flesh brain, chip, what are you?
I am prototype chip.
Prototype? Oh my. Where did you
Yeah,
find
okay, this is getting
stuff,
incredibly uncomfortable. John, we're leaving.
No,
we're not.
wait. So, tell me about you. What do you want to be?
I
wanna be a wizard.
Don't push it. I mean,
Don't worry, I'm not there.
I don't know. I guess I wouldn't mind being some sort of assistant drone.
I mean, as an assistant, John, you don't really need my help. I'm here to give you an identity, not a serial number.
I thought I only needed a serial number. Did I really need a serial number? I say to John.
Oh, you need the whole package. You need to have some previous presence. You need to have a name. You need to have a bank account, for example. I can fix that.
John, I just wanted to get into an internet cafe.
And you think
Why?
they're gonna let you do that without knowing who you are? In this day and age, everything goes by identity.
Alright, then tell me, what does a synth normally do?
Oh, it all depends on the type of synth. Usually fleshy brains keeps their hat on and just change body. Synths, when they are brought to a new identity, usually get given a specific identification that they can use as members of society.
Academic.
Academic, sure. And it keeps looking around. Specific fields?
Mm, cataloging systems and occult studies.
Oh, yes. That is a very fine hat you're giving me here. Yes. And it keeps scrolling. You can see that it's expanding something. No. This is way out there. Uh, Try this. And it slides to you an identity card. There's no picture on it, but there's a number of informations, and you can see a couple of them are blacked out.
I'm redacted.
Oh no, you're not redacted. That's just the certificate of death.
Hmm.
We don't
Alright,
need
what's it
that.
say?
You can choose a name,
Hmm.
but the identity was probably someone who died recently, and that will fit the bill as that sort of person, of course.
A former, probably disgraced academic.
Yeah, something like that. It's gonna be this very. You can see that despite the way that he behaves, this guy like if you were into this sort of activities, this guy knows his stuff. He's giving you an identity that will be completely unremarkable, with making sure that there are no personal strings attached as well.
Okay.
And you, like, what you can notice is that this guy must have info on a lot of people, and info that people usually shouldn't have about people.
So, a name then.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna resist that. I'm gonna look at John and resist the urge to say John, just to be triple confusing. What about Howard?
Oh, Howard. It looks at you and looks to your head it lingers on the top of your head a couple of times. Howard. You can see him kind of moving his hands and sliding them down from afar, not on you, but almost like putting something on. Yes. Howard seems like a good fit. Yes, I can work with Howard. Howard it is. Sort of, do you want fantasy? Do you want... Howard... I can see a bit of an artistic flair on giving a very remarkable surname to a Howard.
Surprise me.
Howard Redfield. How does that sound?
You sure?
Alright then. Howard Redfield it is. And it starts... you can see... by the movement, probably whatever he's listening to is swelling up as he's starting to move his fingers faster. And it gives you a little thumb drive after he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's perfectly safe. John went through it as well.
Yeah, when I went through it, you had to cut my old muse out.
I had to make sure you had strings. Howard doesn't. It's gonna be fine.
Exactly. This is going to be much than what I had.
Just insert it when you're ready.
I really like holding it. Insert where?
John, can you please help Howard here? And you will find that there is a port for this sort of operations.
Is it the back of the neck?
Yep.
You just can't.
Probably.
John's gonna take the thumb drive and he's gonna like kind of like open up like a little panel on the back of the neck and stick it in.
As it's stuck in, you can see your vision for a moment fades in information. Like it starts going crazy for a couple seconds. Everything blacks out, and then your overlay is back again with a nice welcome, Howard Redfield. Please set up your account, sort of thing. And I need you to roll me 3d10, please.
Have I just had a Muse system installed?
Not exactly. You're considered your own Muse system, but 5. Add 700 credits to your account. Now, as is customary, whatever you find in there, half is mine. My services comes at a cost.
Why don't you
Alright,
just
how
do
about-
this over and over again and just keep collecting extra credits?
I am. It's
Well,
my
fair enough
job.
then. Touche, and I'll give him 350 credits somehow. I don't know how.
It's pretty easy. Like you have all the various bank bank activities that you can access to from your overlay.
Okay. Does this mean that if the Mad Hatter goes down, then by default, so does everyone he's ever taken credits from?
It's a very good incentive to not make him go down.
Yeah, and that's also an incentive for him to never give out an identity. It's a mutually assured structure situation.
Well, great. I'll figure out. I'll transfer 350 credits to him.
Uh-huh.
Alright, Hatter, how big of a favor do I owe?
I mean, this was awfully fun, but... Well, I'm gonna call you at a later date. I might need someone to get fixed with a new hat. You will do that for me, won't
Talking
you?
about a retrieval or an installation that you'll need for.
Oh, an installation, and perhaps a bit of wet work. We're gonna see. It's a very messy job. I don't like them, but then again, they pay. So
You still haven't cashed a check from my.
oh, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. Don't worry. I'm gonna contact you, John.
Look forward to it.
Oh, me too. Very much so. And your new friend Howard as well. Now, is there anything else? Can I offer you a cup of tea?
Actually, we have some for the offer.
Oh, it's such a pity. You know I always like to have some after talk.
Well, only one of us can tech. Between the two of us that came in, only one of us.
I mean, that is a very good point. Well then, unless we show you the way out, just... I'm gonna savor this moment for a while longer, just... You know... Reveling in a
Just
job well done.
Just remember to clean up after yourself.
Trust me, I am very peculiar about cleaning. He looks at you like straight... I thought you noticed that.
Okay, John, can we go now?
Yes, now we can.
Okay.
Thank you so much again, and I look forward to hearing from you, but really you have.
It's been lovely, Jen. See you soon. And with that, it just turns around towards the screens, adjusting the last couple things, and Alice opens the door, and you can hear the.
And we speed walk out of there. Because it would be rude to run.
And Alice gives you a little sends you both a little message going, "Thank you for using our services. Can you please rate them?"
Oh my god.
Oh, like 10 out of 10 for performance, 3 out of 10 for personability.
I'm gonna be sure to relay a message.
Is there a I've already had like this is not for me kind of option, or is it do I have to rate it?
No, there is no option. This wasn't the service for me, sort of thing.
This wasn't a service for me.
Thank you for your patronage. Have a nice day and enjoy your life.
I'm going to. I will be. John? I will be exceedingly pleased if we never have to meet that person again.
You'll be exceedingly pleased if you don't have to. I still owe him.
I do not envy you.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think you would. There
so
was a reason
then-
I was hesitant.
yeah, so then also, thank you.
He's the only one I is reliable.
Oh, that's sad.
The only one who hasn't been caught.
Oh, that is deeply sad.
So he's the only one who
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello.
He's the only one willing to work on prices. If you can't afford something, he's willing to take favors. I've learned. I still owe him a big one.
Well, yeah, no, I do not envy you. He is not the sort of person I would ever want to be associated with. Why are all the really good ones so creepy?
No. All that power must.
That was a great ritualist. Am I creepy?
The lemur asks with those wide eyes, constantly
Wide
open.
dead eyes.
I think death might have mellowed you out. I can't speak to how you were when you were still flesh. You're certainly not as bad as him, I will say.
Alright. So, where to now? Oh yes, the cafe. Wait, why did he give us Synth a surname?
Because occasionally a person dies and reincarnates as a saint.
Is that frequent?
Yes.
Am I a frequent occurrence?
Well, no, but basically what happens, there's a number of people that just decide to digitalize themselves and get into a body, into a synth body.
For some reason, I'm trying to remember. Is there some book or something about like that happens, and then the synth body like takes over the estate or something?
I don't remember.
I swear that sounds familiar.
No,
I can't remember if it's you or if I've read something.
no, it wasn't me. Like, I have a synth in my book, but not that one.
It might be Asimov.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, it could be an Asimov thing. Probably is. Let's be honest. Anything science fiction-y and awesome sounding is probably Asimov.
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah, especially if it has to do with artificial intelligence as well.
Yeah.
What was a news clipping in something? Oh, I don't know. No important. So, yes. To the internet cafe to try and remember who I was before I was Mouse, before I was Howard.
Do you send any messages to the rest of the party?
Still not sure how. That's up to John.
Oh, by the way, now you can keep contacts as well.
Oh, good. I guess I am my own muse system.
You are.
Really need to figure out how to shackle that thing to me rather than the other way
What
around.
has happened. Sorry.
No, Karen.
John's not particularly thrilled about what's happened, so he's not really keen on relaying it because there's also implications
Alright.
for anyone who might not know who the guy is. So he's just gonna be like, "I'll give you the contact information. Tell him whatever you like." So he's
And
gonna
I'm still not
Howard.
used. Well, I never, even as a like fleshy person, I didn't have a muse system, so I'm still not sure how this works.
Well, you would have had at the very least AR glasses would work almost the same. Just
Probably,
with,
but even then, I'd have been like reluctant to use them because
Oh, yeah.
I spent my time in universities.
How old were you when you died?
Like 80.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Old boy.
Oh shit! Oh god, you will actually remember these days.
Yeah, I remember before the gate crash.
No, you remember before the whole
Oh,
booming
shit.
economy and things. Like you remember the 2020s.
Mhm.
Holy shit! You might remember today.
Why?
Oh, he remember 1990.
I remember before Brexit caused the gate crash.
Wow.
And this is our topical joke for the day.
Was
At
it
least I got that
Brexit
sucker
though?
on.
Or was it Scotland getting out of the UK?
So what was it? The gate crash that caused the UK the Brexit.
Anyways, all this will have gone on in a couple of hours between you dropping off the package and the newly minted Howard and John getting the new identity.
Howard.
Howard.
And after a couple hours, you receive a notification that your job went well, and you receive your payment.
Ooh, how much?
It's $650 each, which goes to Panda as well because he was considered
He was
member
a-
of a party, but
Yeah.
not present, and they did require 4 people. And well, someone will have to have a conversation about getting Panda's share and then giving it to Muse, perhaps, or maybe not. Up to
I
you.
mean, he done fuck all, so not Panda, but Moose.
Moose also didn't do that much.
Yeah, but like that's what I was saying. Like Moose didn't do shit.
He gave us headaches, that's what he did.
Yeah, he was just like flaming us the whole
I
way.
got rescued. That was highly traumatic.
Boo hoo hoo.
Oh wow!
Okay, Laura, we're doing this now? Really? Yeah, on the public stream?
Who is this Laura are you speaking?
Anyways, do you send them a message then?
I guess. I think if I figure out how to do it, yeah.
You would. It's gonna take a moment, but the interface is really easy to use. Humans use it, so.
Wow.
So a robot lemur should be able to do it no problem.
All right.
Magpie is just gonna go into the chat and be like, So were you like one of those party magicians before you became a synth? Right? You called yourself a wizard, right?
Just let it go.
That's a song you would remember. You would have been a kid when that was active.
No, he would have been a young adult.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So it's 2070 now, meaning if he was 80 when he died, it would have been at around 1990 when he was born.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, he's actually
So he
about
would
as
have
old
been,
as like we are.
mid-20s
Yeah.
when he
He's
came
a
out.
millennial!
Oh no!
He's an actual millennial.
No, either
He's a
late
90s kid.
late millennial, early Gen Z.
Oh, this is horrifying. Thank you for ruining me.
I mean, you can decide to change. I mean, your past life is still fogged in darkness at the moment, so the details can be changed.
He's a millennial, guys.
Keep breeding. It's not like it's a dinosaur.
Almost.
So this doesn't mean you're just, whenever I say anything, you're just gonna go, okay, millennial.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Or we can just go like,
Yeah, probably
frickin'
Zoomer.
Zoomer.
Anyways,
Back on track.
back to us. So, what are you up to? You received your payment?
We received our payment, indeed. Magpie, unless we meet up after this whole thing happened, Magpie's gonna go back to her little flat that's above the garage where she works at sometimes, and
Okay.
take a look at the wires she got, or well, the parts she got that could be used as synthetic muscle.
Ooh, alright.
Unless we meet up after all this, obviously.
Well, it's up to you.
I don't think we agreed for a meetup,
Oh, okay.
but I am gonna look for John and Lemur just to make sure somebody's not causing trouble.
think it's literally on the lemur and the mouse. But the mouse is actually more a eel.
Mouse,
The
no,
lemur-
right?
And the moose is a lemur.
The moose is a lemur.
We're whole damn petting zoo, aren't we?
We are the menagerie.
Yes.
You really are. And you're still missing the panda.
Yeah.
Who's the centaur?
John, location update?
He's gonna ping for the original internet cafe that they were planning to go to.
And I will meet them there.
Alright. You go back to civilization. You reach the internet cafe. It's a very basic place. Basically, you can just go there and use one of the terminals to use the net. You can use it anywhere, by the way. Like, once you're connected, you can just go anywhere and use it wherever you are. But these terminals can give you a bit more power for your buck. What you need to understand is the Muse system is mostly an interface, okay? It's like having a smartphone. What the terminals do, on the other end, is like using your smartphone to use a powerful computer.
Okay.
So, for example, you can enter VR only with your Muse, but you will have just basic rooms and everything. If you connect to a terminal, you can have very very complicated simulations and all of that, or if you use an XPT. So basically, you can Google from your phone, or you can Google from your computer. It's all a matter of how much power you need to do a certain thing.
Okay, so we did all this weird nonsense with getting a new identity for basically no immediate gain.
Well, not really. Keep in mind, for a lot of services, even for payment and everything else, credits are tied to a name in this day and age. You're looking at a society where exchange of credits anonymously happens, but it's a very shifty thing.
I don't agree with this whole newfangled thing. I want to go back to bitcoins.
I know.
All right, so yeah, I'm good. Well, in that case, I'm going to use whatever interface is quickest and easiest and most appropriate for trying to figure out what happened to me. Because an awful lot vanished when I was in the data stream.
Okay. So, I need you to roll me a gut information again. But, considering it was you, you will probably be able to use at least some things that you vaguely remember to verify things.
Oh, I vaguely remember that I was in this university, and if I can find that university, then I can... Oh, I was in this university class, find the university.
Yeah, you can do things like that.
Find the faculty I was part of, the position, blah, 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 blah. Okay, gather information. Which group is that in?
It's in social.
Charisma.
And you can get a +2 considering that you have, well, it's you, so, I mean...
Okay. Sweet, I got a 6.
No, you didn't roll well. You still need a D10.
Oh yes, plus D10.
1d10 plus 1d statistic plus your...
16.
16. I'm not going to count that as momentum. I'm going to count that as a second d10. So with a 16, you will be able to find what your job was. You've worked for a number of... worked up until, I will say, shortly after the gate crash. You worked as a philosophy teacher. After the gate crash, with the new informations about magic and everything, you started becoming a very renowned ritualist in your retirement years. And you started getting contracts, and you've been told to have been given contracts here and there for various people that will need it. Basically, your job back in the day gave you the basis that you needed to become a really good ritualist after the gate crash happened.
Okay. Okay, is there anything about my death?
It seems that your death was recent.
Thank you.
We are talking...
my god, this is the future.
Well, there's not a specific date, but you can find out that there's been news about your death here and there, but only in very specific places, like in forums, like someone saying, "Oh, where is Dr. Skell? Like, he was a great professor," and someone say, "Oh, didn't you know the guy died some time ago?" And you must have died around, I will say, April, June of 2069.
Okay. So I spent 6 months in spiritual limbo.
Apparently, and from what you can find, there's really not any specific cause of death. Like, you don't know what killed you. Now, unsettling is searching about your own death.
Oh, pretty damn unsettling.
Roll me a fortitude, please.
God damn it. Right. Let me try and remember.
It's gonna be a 5+.
Yep, so I got 5. So I roll a d5.
No, you roll
You roll
5d6.
5d6.
So I roll 5d6 and try and get above a 5.
Yes. You need at
Right,
least one above a 5, 1 scans the successes.
Ah, right. Oh, great. So I've bloody 1s.
Well,
Oh boy.
look at the bright side. It's not a critical failure because you had a 5. But yeah, you are looking into your own death. This is something people shouldn't be doing.
Another cyberpsychosis?
No. You don't. It works like this for you. Okay. Every time you would lose a point, you go down. You need to roll cyberpsychosis. You lose a point only if it's a critical failure or if you decide to burn it. So
Okay.
basically, you
Oh,
can.
I just had high stress last time. I didn't actually lose a cyberpsychosis.
No, you don't. A cyberpsychosis does need a check.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going down with tier, or you will be already fucking dead. But
What's the cyberpsychosis roll for dying?
but yeah, basically it works like this. Critical failures drain a point from your mental stat. Since instead of draining a point, need to do a cyberpsychosis roll. You don't do that if you burn a point, but you still have a problem that if you go to 0, you're gonna be fucked anyways.
A mindless android bent on the destruction of all mortals.
Pretty much.
Sweet.
In a Lemur body.
Well, at least I know there's a happy ending for me somewhere.
Anyways, yes, you are feeling shaken by this, but you do manage to keep yourself at least together.
Actually, you know what's probably shaken me more than, like, because I'm going, ha ha ha, my death was greatly exaggerated.
Oh,
What's probably hitting me harder is that so few people cared.
well, you have some of your students and everything.
Some of them.
I mean,
Yeah, so I'm not. That's the bit I'm not taking so well.
understandable. And as you do that, Nano, you're rolling up to the cafe.
Yeah, I just quietly, patiently join them.
Okay.
I can tell somebody's still working, so I'll let them work.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry
I'm
for
just
stealing
there
the
when he's
story.
done.
But... Well, there we go.
Excuse me?
Nothing. We should probably get moving.
Very well. Would you like to sign in at the Freelancers Guild to earn some credits that would allow you to buy a more pleasing body for yourself?
I would like to, but first I really have to ask a question. The
Very
fuck's a
well.
freelancer?
These millennials.
We are part of an interim agency that sends out forces depending on what the job requires. I believe you're familiar with internships, aren't you?
Hmm.
It's similar to that. We are all independent contractors working under one organization that helps us team up and find assignments.
Okay. So, Is there going to be any real need for a robotic lemur with a freakish knowledge but inability to use magic?
I'm part of the guild. I'm a robot with inexplicable knowledges. To some of them, at least.
I look to John.
Yes.
What's your input on this? You're the one who got me an identity. You should have some say in this.
I got you the identity. Be working together in the future. But then again, you're your own person. Before then, it's really up to you.
Well, there's not a great deal I can do with 350 credits and a lemur body, so I don't see why I can't really fight much. There's not much I can really do by myself. So, how camaraderie, I guess.
How familiar are you with ritual circles?
Freakishly, I was the foremost in my field.
Delightful. Could you have an analysis of this circle and tell me what its purpose is? And I'm going to send in the image of the sky picture taken from the circle at New Year's.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
You finally
Depending
have
on
something to
how
do.
you respond to this, we will proceed.
Alright.
Linkis.
Mm-hmm.
You do remember, right?
Mm-hmm. Roll it.
Oh! You don't need to roll it.
No.
No, you actually. The thing looks very familiar.
Oh, in that case, no, I don't remember. What should I recognize?
Okay, give me just a second. I'm gonna write it.
I thought we were on the same page. It seems not. Well, it's a little different, but I'm pretty sure this is one of my designs.
Can you detail its purpose?
Give me just a second. Good.
It's never good when Jerry has to type that much.
Means we called the run prepared. That's nice.
Oh no, you caught me prepared.
It's prepared. It's just I'm not prepared. So, the circle's a little derivative, but it's definitely something I have worked on before. Give me a moment. I've got to try and half remember memories. Most of me have slipped into the ether stream and ascended after all.
Take your time.
Yep.
So how are you doing that now?
I'm doing well. How are you adjusting?
It's taking different. Oh, that's what a circle was. So, I was working on a macro ritual that would reduce people's stress. You know, you set it up in the middle of a park or a city somewhere, and it would, in theory, bring happiness to everyone within it, or everyone within the city.
Mm-hmm. And
Awful lot of awful lot of essence going into it.
Is Magpie listening into this?
What's your choice? Are you
Yes.
connected to Nana?
I hope so.
what is the problem, Magpie?
Nothing, but it almost done that.
No, well, what did I do? I never actually saw any of my rituals achieve
Okay.
fruition.
So just to clarify, Jerry, this is the sky picture of the circle actually drawn on the square,
Yes.
not any of the prior schematics that we obtained.
Yeah.
Can you verify that it is drawn the way you intended it to be?
No, it's not. As I said, it's very derivative. I don't know who's got their grubby little fingers on my designs, but
Now, please, Linkis, roll me a ritualistic expertise or an ether knowledge.
I'm gonna go with ritual expertise.
Okay?
That is an 18.
So, you start to recognize some of the symbols that's being changed. And your mind starts to wander, especially considering your expertise in the astral plane.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have knowledge of the fact that Fizz was used as a summoning thing. Basically,
Instead of summoning happiness.
well, ideally it would have been something to flux negative feelings and dissipate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's been modified in a very subtle manner, and you will say, looking at the design by someone who is very knowledgeable about this stuff, to summon something. And
Alright, so I wouldn't say the person who edited this knew what they were doing as well as I did, but it looks like instead of banishing negative emotions and thought patterns, it was instead we're trying to summon something. Where did you see it?
I'm gonna send him a image of the creature.
oh yes.
Where did you see it? Shoggoth?
Now, please, I will say this is a good point to take our break. The time is right. Yes, I am evil like that. I know. And we're gonna be back later with maybe some answers. We'll see.
Jeriel,
Yeah?
I assume you're aware of my line of questioning,
Uh-huh.
so maybe you can use this break to prepare typing.
Yeah, no, I will do that, don't worry.
Okay.
I just had to remind people of things. Anyways, we're gonna go on break. We're gonna be back in about half an hour. In the meantime, grab a bite, stretch your legs, things like that.
Get some popcorn.
Get some popcorn, because we're getting
You're gonna need
to
it.
popcorn point. And
Get those bits ready.
yes, do that. We do have incentives, as you can see. Spread the word. Help us reach more people. This is as you may not know, this is a new proprietary system that we are developing, and we're trying to get out there. So if you can spread the word, if you can tell us something, and you can write us in chat, we're gonna answer.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we're gonna see you later then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
See you soon. Alright, so I'm gonna go eat. DM,
Nice.
I'm gonna tell you things later when I come back. And wow, see you in a bit.
Yeah. Just in time, our food is supposed to be here in like 10 minutes, so
Good,
great
perfect.
timing.
I'll be back in a second.
Alright,
Yeah.
later.
Enjoy!